The airport gate slowly and heavily opened. The air was filled with a deep, sorrowful silence, as if the whole world was holding its breath. We all stood there, hearts full of anticipation, eyes searching for the light of his return. And suddenly he appeared from the shadows. My uncle's son, the traveler who had been away from his homeland for 7 long years. His steps were slow and heavy, as if every step carried thousands of bitter memories and loneliness. His face was thin and pale, his eyes tired and full of sorrow. A faint smile lingered on his lips, but it was more like a swallowed sob that never escaped. His father, an old and broken man, separated from the crowd and walked with trembling steps toward his son, hands shaking and a heart that had long awaited this moment stretched out to him. When he reached him, without any words, he embraced his son, an embrace full of silent tears and long whispered regrets. The sound of the father's broken, uneven breath echoed in that deadly silence, a bitter melody ringing in all our ears. His mother, with slow steps and trembling hands, made her way closer to the gathering. When she kissed her son's face, her voice broke and trembled. "My son, you finally came back, but so many are missing." And the tears, which had been shed in silence for years, now flowed down her aged, wrinkled cheeks. Relatives and friends, young and old, had come from near and far to share this moment of return. Each carried simple bouquets scented with the earth of our homeland. But none could fill the empty places left by those who were no longer here. Those who had departed one by one during these 7 years of separation, without the son even knowing. The crowd slowly formed a circle around the son, each person weeping in their own way, reviving bitter memories of absence with deep sighs from their hearts. Someone told stories of the days the son was alone in distant lands. Someone spoke of the hardships he endured, the sorrows and heartaches, of mornings when longing began with pain and tears, and nights spent wrestling with loneliness and sleeplessness. He was in a strange land, with an unfamiliar language, among people who did not know him at all, alone, with hands tired from hard labor, a heart full of sorrow and unrest, and eyes that held silent tears every single day. The son asked with a tired and trembling voice, "Where is my elder uncle? Where is my grandmother? Where are so-and-so uncle and friends?" But he received no answer, only a deep silence and tearful, sorrowful glances responded to him. He slowly realized the bitter truth he had held in his heart, and at the end, when we looked at the son's hands, we saw how, after years of separation, hard work, and the burdens of travel, the skin on his hands was cracked and wounded. Hands that no longer held the softness of childhood, but spoke silently of the pains and loneliness of being far from home. He knew that when he left, his friends and loved ones were still alive. But when he returned, many were no longer there. Friends whose absence was deeply felt in the gatherings, family members who couldn't bear to stay without him, and a home whose silence screamed of loneliness. He understood that distance is not just a matter of space, but a loss of moments that never come back, and the heavy burden of loneliness that he has lived with for so many years. And we, with tear-filled eyes, can only wish this weary traveler the peace he has been denied for so long.